Love a rainy night, beautiful sight. Love to feel the rain on my face, with the rain on my lips. Moonlight shadows. Okay. No. There's a way. We gotta get to the chorus. No. Take it away. Okay.
I don't know where you found that version, but
Well, I couldn't use the regular one.
hello,
What? Oh, I'm sorry.
dumbass. Now stop sharing.
I always forget to do that. Hi. Welcome to the Tug and Mule Show. I'm Tug.
And I'm Mule. This video is intended for entertainment and educational purposes only. All opinions expressed on this video by Wonder Rosie and Bionic Christine are our own and do not reflect that of our employer. Please contact your local representative, if you can find them, regarding contractual language and contractual rights.
We're being nice.
I am nice.
Okay.
All opinions expressed in this video are protected under the National Labor Relations Act, so it doesn't matter if I'm nice or not. Biatch! You can see her hat.
Nice.
I don't know.
Little heart.
I don't know if you guys can figure it out yet, but we're going to be talking about peak. I feel like we just did this video anyways.
About a year ago.
Was it a year ago? God damn, it just feels like it was yesterday.
I know.
So she has that hat. I have this hat. Because
which is fitting. They're warm and I'm fun.
and I'm a bitch.
And she's grumpy.
You should see my car during peak. It's all decked out with the Grinch.
Yep.
Don't mess with me.
But if you have a union question, you can go up and ask her and she'll answer it.
Maybe.
No, she will.
If I can. If I can't.
So the reason why we're doing another peak show is because
It's that time of year.
It's that time of year. And there's been a lot of changes, as most of us know, at the Ontario facility. So because of the shutdown of Sunrise and the changes in air cargo with the ending of doing the BMCs and moving.
How's that going, by the way?
It's been interesting. Pretty interesting.
That's how you want to word it? Okay.
Yeah. So all the how we were so before we were actually unloading and unloading the actual postal into what we call BMCs. And now we are just transitioning the volume from trailers onto portable bypass elevators to the plane, or we're taking them from the plane onto these portable bypass elevators. So as a result of that, the majority of these employees that were inside the air cargo facility in the hub are now outside. And most of them have never worked outside before in the elements. And that was also the result of a lot of the Sunrise employees. A lot of those employees, even the high seniority combos, had never worked outside before. They've never worked on the ramp.
Now they're stuck in there for the whole half shift that they're not used to. And they're not really prepared.
Yeah.
For...
So we decided that this would probably be a good idea because we have a lot of employees out there now that this is going to be their first peak outside on the ramp in the elements. We have a lot of new hires that have come into the facility now. So we feel like it's probably really important to let these guys know what they're in for. Because there's not a lot of education and information going around right now.
Okay, wait a minute.
So
not everybody is like you, though. So, like, not everybody thinks that, it's freezing, 0, 20 below, snow flurries. They're coming.
Okay, but there are snow flurries out there.
Not
Look
here.
for them.
Not here.
There are.
Not
I've
here.
seen them.
In your fucked up imagination,
It
maybe.
snowed at the Rialto or the Bloomington Hall.
Oh my God.
We were there. It snowed.
Oh my God.
It snowed
It
in
didn't
Bloomington
even
at the
stick.
hall.
It didn't even
It
stick.
was it snowing?
There were little.
Was it?
There were little
It was
snowflakes.
snowing.
Oh
It was
my
snowing.
God.
And who was prepared for the snow? Right here. Right here. The only one that was prepared for that fucking snow was me. Right here. Right here.
No, because t-shirts just fine.
I was prepared for it.
In your own fucked up way.
Prepared. So, yeah. So, anyways.
Don't let her make you nuts, okay?
So, no. You
Because
don't need to go to the extremes that I go to.
no.
But you do need to be prepared.
Yes.
So, some of the stuff that you need to be prepared with is you need to make sure, because a lot of you don't even have this stuff, and we know you don't have it because we never had it until we went out to the ramp, and then we got very wet one night
Swamp ass.
because we were out there in jeans and a t-shirt and a jacket, and
Oh, those
realized
poor new
that
hires when they come out and they don't have rain gear and they're in their jeans and their sweatshirt and you're looking at them going, "Oh Lord, you are so going to be sick tomorrow."
it's really bad. It's really bad. And the company will provide you with rain gear. It's
lovely.
it's a banana suit. It's bright
No,
yellow.
No, I heard we get ponchos now. I don't know if that's true because
I've seen the yellow ponchos, but they're yellow also. They may have different colors. I don't get them.
no, they only have yellow, but
Yeah.
that's
But it's no better than anything else. The rain gear, they give you the pants, they're fantastic. So it's like an overall with like a jacket, but the minute you sit down, it
They rip.
will rip from one crack on the back to the other crack on the front, and you now are just gonna have your butt wet all night. Like,
and you're going to sit in that puddle of water
that's on
the
your seat. Yeah.
and it's going to soak right up into your underwear and it's going to be chilly and you're
Yeah.
going to it's like
It's like the only place those things rip, and the minute you sit, they rip. It doesn't
But
matter how big
but
you
it's
get them.
invigorating and it
It-
wakes you up and it
Oh.
makes you sit up and say yes.
There's so many words that it is, and I would not say invigorating is one of them, but okay. So,
And then when the water gets in your shoes
oh,
and you're squishing around, and if this is your first half and then you've got to go into the hub and work after you've gotten all soaking wet, yeah, I don't know how long.
changes of clothes is a really good idea, especially if it's going to be one of those days where it is going to pour down rain and hail. Having hail hit you sideways in the face is very painful. Let me tell you, like that is not a fun experience at all, but you know.
Shucks, I'm in a truck now.
So yeah, shut up. Just fuck off. So masks. There's waterproof masks you can buy that will cover like pretty much everything on your face except for like your eyeballs and your
So-
mouth so you can breathe. Those are very helpful.
My rain gear zips up to about here, has the little elastic straps that you can pull down. So there's only like this much of your face showing. I never did it. So I ended up with like a wet shirt in the front, because the water just runs down and gets your shirt. But, because that was just way too much covering my face. I can't do it.
She gets too hot, yeah. But she has the Gore-Tex.
Yes.
It's a little bit more pricey. There's different levels of rain gear that you can get. Okay, so you can get the Gore-Tex. You can get what's called Frog Tog. I have a snowsuit that I like to wear, but that's because I freeze to death. So they're heavier. They do weigh a lot because it's snow. It's a snowsuit, so it's thicker, but it's very warm. So if you're somebody who's cold, or if you suffer from past injuries or arthritis, and that cold weather really makes you hurt, I would suggest making sure that you're dressing warm. I also wear something called Under Armour, and that's actually the name brand. You go on underarmour.com and you can find it, and it has different scales.
Or you
I
can
wear
go-
the stuff that's like below zero.
Or
So-
you can go old school and just get some long johns. Do you remember long johns?
I do. They
Hey.
don't work.
And you know what? Some of them even have the open butt thing.
Yeah.
But no.
No, long johns don't work. Under Armour. It's a little pricey, but again, this stuff is an investment. Like I've had my Under Armour now for like 10 years. So
Because she thinks it's cold
It-
here in Southern
I'm-
California.
yeah, I'm freezing. I freeze, and and it's worse. I think it's worse if you work AM because about 4 o'clock at night and just before sunrise,
It's
it is
about a
really
half an hour
cold.
before the sun comes up.
It is
gets-
really cold on that
It
ramp.
does. It does. And,
So-
and I would not argue that because I remember those days. You'd feel it. It would just get colder and
Yeah.
colder. And then you'd freeze for about 20 minutes. And then the sun would come up and you were fine. And then you were roasting all day. Yeah, roasting. Roasting like a freaking baked potato. Because you've got all those well, they used to all of the aluminum, I think it was aluminum cans would reflect all the sun back on us and get really, really hot.
Yeah, they don't have a lot of those anymore. They're that weird plastic.
You remember you used to see
Barrier.
those, I don't even remember back in the 90s or the 80s, those people who had the little mirror thing holding it up to get a suntan.
Yeah,
That's what it felt like. It
Yeah,
was just
no, it was
radiating this heat
heat,
right back
yeah.
on you, and it was like, oh god.
so
Anyways,
you just have to figure out what gear you want, and it's easier to put layers on and take them off than it is to not even have them and freeze to death.
oh god.
There is a really great jacket on Amazon. You'll see them all over out there. They're yellow
Mhm.
with the reflectives, the reflective color on them. They come with lining. I have the thermal insulated lining. I prefer that. It is removable if you want to take it out. They all come with hoods. They are
don't
really
think-
warm.
I don't think mine's removable, but it is thick. And
Mine is removable,
do you
So-
know? I think
but they are absolutely waterproof.
I think I wore it like once in the past 3 years. Once.
Because it's hot.
It is. It's
Yes.
too hot for me.
See, it's I love it. It is perfectly warm for me.
Too
Keeps
hot.
me really warm. Again, these are degrees. You've got to figure out what works for you. So you're going to want that waterproof jacket. Those are great because they're reflective. You don't have to worry about putting your vest on over that jacket. If you don't have a jacket like that,
Yeah.
then
put your vest
you're going to
on
have to
over
put your vest on over that jacket. So, that's one thing. That's one of the reasons why a lot of us get the yellow jackets,
And-
because we can just wear them. They're warm and we don't have to put
Sometimes-
the vest on over them.
Sometimes it's hard to get your vest over all those layers.
Yep.
So you're like fighting. But layers are always good. Layers are fantastic because I know I'll walk in a sweatshirt and get in my truck and I take my sweatshirt off and it's just my t-shirt all winter. People look
Yeah,
at me like I'm a
so-
little crazy,
and it's-
but
And you definitely need to know your lay. You're going to have to be taking if you're working, like, let's say you're working like the Walker Hub, or like I work over in Ontario Ground Hub on the air side, you're going to take those layers off. Like, we are all layered up outside, even when it's raining. But when you go in those buildings, it's hot. And if you're in there for any significant amount of time, pulling cans and pushing cans, and
you're going to take your
you're going to
jacket
wind
off.
up taking some stuff off, and you're going to put it back on the minute you go outside because you're freezing. And so it's this never ending cycle of taking it off and on and off and on. And you've got to give yourself extra time to go to the bathroom because it's going to take you forever
Yes.
to get everything off to go to the bathroom,
And don't-
especially if you're a lady. Like,
And-
it's just,
She's crazy when it comes to going to the bathroom and all her rain gear. It takes forever. But yeah, definitely don't, try and rush yourself to get through a bathroom trip
Process.
because
no.
it will take you a minute
Yep.
just to unlayer to put it all back on again.
Yep.
It is really, really.
And if you're wet, oh, good luck. Good luck. Because if
That's
your
like-
jeans,
that's like,
if you are just in jeans, if you do not heed our warnings and get rain gear, and if you do, and the other thing, you need to make sure you have a good weather app. Okay. Like, and you need to check it every day to make sure if it's going to rain, and you need to always have your rain gear on you,
I'm wondering.
because if you don't have your rain gear and you get caught on that ramp, and it's happened to all of us multiple times,
Oh, right.
where there's been an unexpected rainstorm. There was nothing on the app that said it was going to rain, and all of a sudden it's just pouring down rain, and we are all soaked. it sucks because your jeans have now just gained 20 pounds. And everything is wet. Your shoes are wet. Your socks are wet. Your butt is wet. Your underwear is wet. Everything is just wet. You are miserable. You're cold. It sucks.
It does.
And everybody's out there and we're all just wet and uncomfortable and mad and pissed off but it does happen. But you really want to try and
Those-
have your gear
those
once the rain
freak-
season comes, and it's really October 31st. You want to try and have all this stuff by October 31st. And you want to make sure you have waterproof shoes. You want to make sure your boots are waterproof.
You should show them. We have, you can go just look up, waterproof shoes, and look at, things like that. But what are you doing?
I'm trying to get to the page. It's not letting me go to it. It keeps going on to this. I don't know why it won't move this.
You can't move it like there.
Where?
See, there. There you go.
Well, that's dumb.
Hey, I didn't make it.
I know.
Anyways, this is where Rosemary likes to buy her shoes. They're waterproof. See, this is waterproof steel toe. You don't need steel toes. We all know that. But just so you know, there are millions of places to buy shoes, waterproof shoes. Make sure you have a nice pair that are comfortable, that you can wear all night, that you can fit usually 2 pairs of socks in. Because when it gets cold, that is like the one thing. If my feet are fine, the rest of me is fine. If my feet are cold, I'm starting to get cold.
And I buy wool thermal insulated socks. But I'm crazy again. So
Southern California, it
I
doesn't.
again I don't like I hate being cold. And we are aware that the employees on the actual ramp get boots provided to them by UPS, but the rest of us don't.
Mhm.
Even though we work on the ramp. That's just an added note.
Okay.
So this is why we're showing you this. These are really great gloves. If you want to wear these underneath the gloves, because you're going to need gloves, and you can buy waterproof gloves, but sometimes you want to wear these underneath just in case something happens.
If you want to do something cheap, but I'm sure it works. I haven't done it myself. I don't know that I could, but because 2 pairs of gloves is just too much for me.
Me
But
too.
my friend, he used to buy the dish gloves.
The yellow.
Yeah, the dish gloves that come up to like mid-arm, and he would put those on under his gloves to keep his hands warm, which I thought was a fantastic idea and actually pretty cheap in comparison to buying separate gloves for such a thing.
So, and the other thing you're going to want to get, not that.
Well, look.
Yeah, so they have these kinds of jackets on here. That they will allow. These ones they would not allow. If you get a jacket, they have to be these class 2s.
Yes.
So they would allow like this kind of a jacket if it's a class 2 at UPS. So you just have to make sure that you're getting a class 2.
What are those? Huh. Cute.
Like gaiters.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the other thing that is a really good idea are these. UPS again will provide you with goggles.
Oh my God. Yes.
But
they're these. They're those.
Yes, they are these kind of goggles right here.
Yeah.
They have little cracks right here on the side. And if you're driving on that Walker Road, all that dirt will seep in there and go right into your eyeball.
Yes.
And it is no fun.
No.
So I like to get these ones. This pair right here is not too expensive. I like these because if I'm out there during the day, then I can wear these during the day when it's windy, and then I can wear these ones at night. But I just like that you can pick whatever kind you want, but I would suggest getting your own set of goggles because when those high winds start coming up, you're going to want something on your face.
Yes.
Because it is almost impossible to drive while you're out there and all that wind is kicking up in your eyeballs, especially if you're driving on that Walker Road. So this is just one site we go to. You can go to Bass Pro Shop and look at their rain gear. You can go to Amazon.
You can go.
You can really just type in rain gear. There's a lot of places you can go, but you need to look at rain gear. You need to look at something to wear underneath your clothes. There's places where you can get thermal jeans.
Ooh, I have flannel lined jeans.
Yeah,
I haven't been able to wear them because
those are really nice. Flannel lined jeans will keep you really warm. If you don't actually want to wear like Under Armour or something, you can wear those, and then you can always just put your rain gear over those. So there's a lot of options that
Sure.
you guys can have, but you just really need to be prepared
Mhm.
for the changing weather that's coming.
Make sure you have a scarf. Usually, I don't need the face mask thing because I usually put my scarf on and it goes over my face, and that's too much, but at least it covers my ears.
Yeah, and you need to have stuff that's different for different days. Like these hats, I love my fuzzy hats.
Can't wear them in the rain.
And my beanies, but I can wear my beanies in the rain, but they are going to get wet. So usually I have to carry like 2 or 3 because one, if it's raining really bad, one will get soaked and I've got to put that one away and get out another one. I cannot wear any of these in the rain at all.
Correct.
Because these will get ruined. So and like your scarf, if you have a scarf,
you're not wearing
that in the rain. It's just going to turn into just a soggy mess.
So that's just a cold weather thing.
Yeah, so you have to have your cold weather gear, you have to have your wind weather gear, and you have to have your rain weather gear. And so you guys need to be prepared for all the different inclements of weather because you are going to be in it. You are either going to be standing in it, moving like for cargo, you're going to be standing in this, working on the elevators and on that dock and pulling cans, and you're just going to be in it out there all night long. It's going to be pouring down on you, or you're going to be driving in it, and which is a completely different level of element because now if it's sideways rain and it's shooting in your face, you're going to want to try and prevent it from whacking you in the face.
And sometimes it'll whack you in the ear.
Yeah, so you're going to want to try and block all of this so that you can just see and it's not penetrating your face and making it cold. Oh, it will freeze your nose.
You know what's really good too? Is when I do the zip up hat thing, my Gore-Tex. Excuse me, if I put a baseball cap underneath so that when I turn my head, it turns the whole hood.
So you can see.
Because if not, you turn your head and it goes inside the hood and you're like, ah!
Yeah, and you're blinded. You can get some of those hoods when you if they're really tight and you go to turn, you're now blinded over here. It's almost like wearing a blinder. So that's actually a really good idea is to wear a hat underneath them so that you still have that visual peripheral vision when you're out there driving.
Because I used to end up underneath the hood. And I'd be like, no, I can't see. So I'd have to take my hood off and it defeats the purpose.
Now it defeats the purpose because now you're just getting wet. So yeah. So these are all just little things you guys need to be prepared for and you need to know. And then in the hub, it's just trying to get through from walking that long distance. So you're going to want an umbrella. You're going to still want waterproof shoes.
Yes.
Or you're going to want some kind of cover to put. They have covers you can put over your shoes.
So there's a section of our walkway at the Ontario Ground Hub. And it's like the Nile River. It's just this big gully of rainwater that just. And they used to have this small little bridge thing, but it didn't always cover the whole Nile River.
Yes, the ramp.
So you'd have to jump onto this piece of metal, pray to God you did not slip and fall, and then jump off. And now they have a bigger one. And it covers most of it. And it has the grip tape on it, so it's not so slick. But there are sections of that walkway that are so, I don't know if they buffed it when they put the concrete down or what they did, but there's a couple of sections that are like a dip where it's slick. And then the Nile River. And it's just a mess walking in there in the rain. Just be careful.
Yeah. And this is where even if you're not on the ramp, you still have to deal with the weather going in and out. You have to, especially if you're on the walker road, you have to deal with that wind. And it's pretty bad over there and it'll push you. So you have to be mindful of all these the weather, factors. So you guys are still gonna want, warm weather clothes. You're still gonna want, some kind of rain gear to get you inside so you're not soaked by the time you get in for your shift. And so you don't need the hub employees don't need as extreme weather clothes
that we
as we do that work outside in the actual elements, but you do need to be prepared for walking in because everybody still has a walk
yes
to actually get into wherever they're going. And if it is pouring down rain or if it's windy or if it's cold, you still want to be able to get in there.
It is kind of funny too, because when it's raining or it's cold, windy, there's a whole lot of tugs in there in the tug yard.
Yeah.
Most of the time you come in, there's no tugs. You're just sitting there waiting.
Yeah. Nobody goes to work when it's raining.
And then when it's raining and windy, everybody's just like, I ain't driving.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
you gotta drive. Anyways.
And then for even the shifters out there and like the tractor drivers, the feeder drivers and the package car drivers, they have to, theirs isn't so much, I mean, they have to wear some, gear because they're still getting in and out of their vehicles and they're moving about, in the yards and wherever they're going.
I still walk through the little rivers that are created.
But again, they're not in as much of it as we are because we don't have doors and eventually we're not going to have any doors or roofs or anything on any of our tugs. But they're driving in it in different factors than we are. And they're out there in very different and more dangerous factors than we are. They're actually on the roads.
Let me express to tug drivers while I have your attention. Tug drivers. When you see somebody in a big trailer, like in a big truck backing up a trailer, don't think that just because my trailer is here and it's turning, that there's room for you. Because there's not. And you scare the crap out of me when you come out of my blind side and I didn't know you were there. So just slow down. There is no rush to go get gas. Okay?
Or take a can out.
Just wait.
The can's not going to make it if you get hit.
No. And I'm probably not even going to know that I hit you. Okay? So I'm going to back over your ass and you're going to be hurting and I'm going to be like, oops.
And don't assume because you see a driver backing in that they're not going to come back forward, or that if they've turned around that they're pulling out and they're not going to be back up again. You need to wait until they have completely finished that move, whether they're all the way in or they've pulled all the way out and they're driving away before you go forward. Just wait.
And you'll hear me. You'll hear me pull my brake. You'll hear the air. That's the air. That's my brake. Yep. That's when my move is done.
Yep. And you'll see them like go all the way in or they're driving away. And these are all indicators that it's now clear for you to go, or you can make eye contact with them and they'll wave you along.
Yeah. Go ahead. I need to move again. So go ahead. I'll let you go.
But if they're in the middle of moving and you assume that because he's moved out this way, he's probably going to keep going forward. And then you try and drive behind the trailer this way and they're backing up. That's when they don't see you until you've already cleared the entire trailer and you're coming out this way and they're backing up. And that's when they almost hit you. And that's when you hear the slamming of the brakes and they're screaming at you because they don't know how close they came to killing you. And you're just freaking them all out, whether they're shifters or feeder drivers or
oh god,
or feeder whoever.
Are even bigger
because
their trucks have a bigger blind spot than mine. And I assure
you, their trucks, they're just the engine in a feeder truck weighs what one of our tugs weigh. So if they hit us, we're dead. There's no, you're asking for.
So this. Please, just for my peace of mind, I mean, I appreciate the people that do stop and wait, But those of you who don't, who are in this incredible hurry to get the can out, to get the gas in the tug, to whatever the case may be, it is not that important. It will wait, the 2 minutes or so that it takes for me to park my trailer. Security. The security car did that to me.
I know.
I thought I was going to hit the security car.
And when it's raining, we all need to be really mindful to slow down, especially the tug drivers, because the brakes, the tires, the dolly tires are not always in the best. They try, but they're not always in the best operational function as they could be. So if you are using an excessive amount of speed
Trying to
and
stop
then
in
you
there.
try and stop, you are going to jackknife all those dollies behind you, and it's just going to be a big mess. And you need to slow down. You need to be really mindful coming up into the peak season that we're going to come into. And we don't always get a lot of rain out here. Some years we have horrible seasons where we have a ton amount of rain, and some seasons we don't have a lot of rain at all, and we just get a lot of wind. But even when it's really windy, you need to slow down, because that wind makes it really hard to see out there. It
Yep.
moves cans around off the ground. It picks stuff up
I've
and
seen
will
'em-
fly it into your face.
I've
and
seen
get in
'em
your
come up
way.
off the rack. It went off the rack and over a K-rail. There's a can.
Mhm.
And I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, you have to
Anyway.
be real mindful of stuff just flying in front of you when
All
it's
right.
winding out there. So
All right. So
We
this
just-
was our peak update. We just wanted to make sure you're all aware of waterproof shoes, rain gear, extra layers, hats, good thing.
gloves,
Gloves, goggles, things that you need for those of you who have never been on the ramp through peak.
umbrellas for those of you walking in.
Those are, for me, a little bit more difficult because of the fence when we're walking in and out. So like when somebody's coming towards me and I have my umbrella, I have to kind of raise it up so that, excuse me, so that I don't smack them in the face with my umbrella.
Mentioning umbrella, I think the funnest ones are the ones that drive the tug with the umbrella. I
That's
don't know how they
fan-
do that.
No, you know what? They got the clear ones. It looks a little bubble.
I don't know how they do that.
I don't know why they do that. It's not safe.
I just don't know how they do it. Like I find it very interesting.
Anyways, we just wanted to let you guys know that you needed these things just to keep yourself healthy, if nothing else, through the cold season.
Okay, we ready?
I guess.
I'm so excited.
Don't be excited. This is not the one to be excited for.
It is. This is a great song.
Yeah.
Some of you might be familiar with
Just
this.
go.
I sing this during rainy time.
I don't know where you found this.
And where I find all the weird ones. So sad. It's the place to go. For the first time, my happy thing. The first time in history, it's gonna start raining, man. It's raining, man. Hallelujah. It's raining, man. Amen.
They should have found some men for this video. Okay. Okay. Bye, everyone.
No, what's it about? Okay, bye.
Only so much I can do, people. I'm sorry.